Hello everyone, it is me, Juice, I've returned! So, it's been like roughly a week since I last posted, so I'm happy that I'm posting again. I did say you could expect roughly like a video a week, so we're holding up with that. Now, I suppose, is it too late to make a video like this? I mean, it's only the 4th of a month, so I don't think it's too late to make a video like this, but we're past New Year's now. Well, we're still at the start of 2025, so I made this for Genshin and Wuthering Waves on my main channel, so I thought, hey, wouldn't it be fun to make one for Zenless Zone Zero as well, since I like this game a lot. It was actually kind of hard to think of a list because I like this game so much. It's like, what do I even want? I already really like this game. But, well, I managed to come up with a couple of things, so let's talk about those today. My name is Juice, and let's get into it. Okay, so my number one, don't laugh at me, but I think we should have more complex date options. So, when I play Zenless Zone Zero, I'm very reminded of Persona in a sense. The style, the aesthetic, how you're able to invite out people that know your secret job. It's the same as like having the confidants in Persona. It's great, I love it so much. And you're able to take them out for quality time, you're able to go text them, to go on little dates with them. It's all fun and games. However, I would like there to be a proper romance option where, much like in the Persona games, it doesn't even have to be anything too complex, but in the Persona games, for anyone who hasn't played, once you get to a certain trust level with a certain confidant or character, you can either pick the option to romance them or to stay as friends. It's such a small detail, but I think it would be greatly loved and very popular in the player base. I would say that Zenless Zone Zero, they're not afraid to show fan service and they're not afraid to do that sort of thing, so I don't think it would feel very out of place. In fact, it feels like the next natural step after the quality time update. Like, come on. Come on. It feels like we already have a date, but it would be nice to have that little confirmation. Now, I know what you're thinking. There could be a couple of issues with the system. First of all, in the Persona games, you're allowed to cheat. If you date everyone that's dateable in the game, you get a bad ending for it. You get a bad ending for cheating, generally. And then there's the issue of people that change their waifu like once every couple of weeks, and I'm assuming that once you enter a committed relationship with a character, it's gonna feel pretty bad to break up with them. I would say there's a very simple solution to this. Just set the limit so that you can only date one character at a time, and then just add a breakup system. It's simple as that. It sounds nuts, but it would fit into the game, and you know it would. That's actually something that I believe Persona lacks. You can't break up with the characters. It's just when you date them, you're for them for the rest of the game. You can't break up with them. So that's actually something they could add that Persona doesn't have. So as silly and nonsensical as the feature sounds, it would literally just be as simple as adding a new level to the trust events, like a level 5 for the romance option, and adding a new event for every character. It really wouldn't be that big of a deal. It's just as simple as adding a level 5 for every character, adding like a new title, perhaps. It really wouldn't be as goofy as you would think. My number two, I'm actually a bit apprehensive to say this, but I would say more dudes, and the reason I'm apprehensive for this is because I don't think they can make one better than Lighter. Lighter is so peak, dude. He is the peak of peak. He is the best boy of any gacha game. I love that guy. He is the ultimate best guy ever. I don't think they can make someone cooler or hotter or epicer than him. They can try, but they will fail. Like, I like Harumasa, but he is not Lighter, you know what I mean? Lighter is the GOAT. So, while it would be cool if they made more dudes, let's be real, they're not gonna beat Lighter for me. However, I think more dudes in general would be nice just for the variety. I'm glad that they decided to lean into that, and they have made 5-star dudes. We got Harumasa, we got Lighter, and it's not just a waifu-only game now. So for the sake of variety, just add some more in. I would say that the ones that Zenless Zone Zero has made so far have been so good. Dude, Lighter is peak. Harumasa, he's also really, really cool. Have you played his story? He's amazing. I love that guy. Seth, he's really, really cute. I like that his cat ears twitch when you look at him in the little character selection screen. That's pretty neat. So more dudes would be great. I'm gonna be honest, I'm very content with Lighter. I doubt that they're ever going to beat Lighter, but I think that just in general, for the whole player base and for the game, the game itself, more dudes would add some more variety. It would be really cool. Now, next up, I'm hoping that we're gonna return to old factions via events. I really hope that after the story that we play through with them, that's not the last we're gonna see of them, because we've already finished Season 1 of ZZZ, as the devs put it. This was Season 1, from 1.0 to 1.4, and it was great, it was really fun. But I hope that we're just never gonna go to the Outer Ring again. We're just never gonna go talk to Victoria Housekeeping again, just to name some random examples. I'm mostly saying this because my favorite faction in the entire game is, the Outer Ring faction, the Sons of Caledon. Well, I'm very biased. It has Lighter, and it has Caesar King, two of the most goated characters in existence. But anyways, So I would absolutely love to return to them, and I really hope that through events, we're gonna go talk to them again, whatever it may be. And it just adds some more world building and fleshing out to those areas, you know? So here's hoping that in 2025, there's gonna be some events, we're gonna be able to go back and see all these old factions. I doubt that they would literally never have us go back to see old characters again. I'm just a bit apprehensive because we all know how Hoyo has treated Mondstadt. We had a couple of great events there in like the first sort of year of Genshin, then we just never went back there. And we've been there a couple of times for events and stuff, but very, very sparsely. We almost never get limited 5 stars there. Belobog in Honkai Star Rail, it's so neglected. Zilla is the only limited 5 star from there, and it sucks because anytime they do an event about Belobog, it's peak. Like, there's a reason why Belobog is the best thing ever out of Honkai Star Rail. Bro, I think the most enjoyable Honkai Star Rail event in existence was that one Luca event. You know, the one that was like the 1,000-year door Glitz Pit? That was an amazing event. So please, Hoyo, let us go and see the old factions again. Don't completely ignore them now that we're moving on to Season 2 of Zenless Zone Zero. Now, my next point of contention is I was really excited when I found out that you could invite characters to work at your shop, but I was so disappointed when they don't actually stand outside your shop, they don't actually go in your shop, there's just a picture of them on the shop screen, and that's it, and it's just currently open and all that jazz, right? You don't actually get to see them in person. I would like them to make it so that if you invite a character to your shop, you can see, you know, you can actually see them in there or see them standing out there and just kind of permanently have them around. I think it would be a very small change, but it would be a nice change, and just let us talk to them. It's not that big of a deal, but I would just like to have Lighter around, you know what I mean? I understand that probably no one cares about that, and it's probably the most insignificant change in the world, but it would make me happy, okay? I would love to see it happen. Now, next up, I really want to see a Burnice and Caesar King rerun. Obviously, we're gonna get them this year. It would be dumb if we wouldn't get a rerun for those two. They're very popular. I believe they did pretty well. They're good in the meta. I'm sure they'll come back. But hey, I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting for him. Because I skipped everyone for Lighter. So I have a Lighter and I have a Miyabi. Those are my 2 limited 5 stars at the minute, one after another. They're both very, very strong. I'm still clearing endgame with a DPS Lighter, which I'm very proud of. And my Miyabi is absolutely wiping content, slapping it in the face. So that's all fine and dandy. But I really want to wait for those 2 to come back. I love the Sons of Caledon. They are my absolute favorite faction. I really want to collect all the 5 stars from there. Especially Caesar King. I love that character. If you've done this story, you know how cool she is. You know how brave she is. What an awesome unit. I love her so much, and I just can't wait to have her on my account. Burnice, love her too. She's insane. She's a lot of fun, and I've tried her on a friend's account. She feels really, really good to play. So I cannot wait for those 2 to come back. I'm going to be snatching them up. Otherwise, I'm saving completely for M6 Lighter after that, but I'm making exceptions for the rest of the Sons of Caledon. Once I've got those 2, we're going all in and saving for M6 Lighter, but I really, really want them to come back. You know, I'm a little worried, because Hoyoverse has been weird with reruns before, if anyone remembers how Riesli still hasn't been back yet in Genshin, but the difference is that I would say Burnice and Caesar did really well in their initial banners, whereas Rio didn't do that well in his initial banner. So I'm sure we'll be seeing them again this year, but those 2 are some of my favorites. They're in my top 5 favorites for Zenless Zone Zero, so I cannot wait for them to come back. Next up, I really want a Zhu Yuan Buff. Now, the reason for this is because I love cop characters, I think they're really, really cool, and I would pull for her on rerun, but she's just kind of like okay at the minute. I don't think she's bad, but she's not like insane at the minute, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe she's like mid or like good. Like, not like insane, but just like good. I know that right now, anomalies are just way ahead in the meta right now. This is the anomaly meta that we're living in. So a buff for her would be nice, because as it stands, I just don't really see any reason to pull for Zhu Yuan from an account perspective, because she's just not going to compete with any of the other characters that I'm planning to pull for. And I'm sure that the moment we get a new E for DPS, she's probably going to get power crept, but I don't want her to completely bite the dust, man. I really like her. And to be honest, there's no confirming that. For all we know, they're going to use completely different teammates and they're not going to step on each other's toes, and there's the whole faction bonus thing, you know? And besides, she's not even that cooked right now. She's decent from what I know, like pretty good. However, come on, push her up a little bit more so I have a reason to get her, because I like this character, but right now I don't really have an incentive. To be honest, if I got both of the Sons of Caledon 5 stars, I probably wouldn't pull for her on a rerun anyway, because I would be saving for M6 Lighter. However, I'm definitely going to pick her up on our 3rd banner, or I might pick her up. It really depends if she does get that buff or not, because I do have a fear that she's going to get power crept the moment we get a new E for DPS. So next up, I really want more crit, anomaly, and stunner engines. Yeah, I'm a DPS lighter main, I know I'm biased, but I'm also saying this because I don't really like how they're doing this thing that Honkai Star Rail does, where you need to use the specific engine on the specific character, and they can't use it if they're not part of that class. Because, I don't know, I just think it's more fun to experiment and to be able to use the engines on whoever you want to use them on, you know what I mean? Like, imagine being able to pull, like, a crit engine for a DPS fighter, you know what I mean? Like, that should be doable. It's kind of annoying that it's not doable. The only real way they can circumvent this now, because the system is set in stone, is add more crit anomaly and crit stunner engines. Now, I know that Hoyoverse is acutely aware that more crit anomaly engines equals more free-to-play options for Miyabi. I'm just assuming when I say more, like 4-star options and 5-star options. And they might not want that, I'm not sure, but I think it would be nice to throw some players a bone. Because as it stands right now, Miyabi's 4-star engines are kinda cooked, so would not be too bad to add a couple more crit anomaly engines. And we're probably gonna get more over time anyway, as we get more 5 stars and 4 stars, or just characters in general that specialize in different types of playstyles within their respective class. I'm eagerly awaiting for when a DPS stunner comes out so that I can pull for their engine and put it on lighter instead. But at that stage, am I even gonna do it? Because I'm gonna try to W5 his engine. You get the general gist of my idea though. Add more crit anomaly and crit stunner engines because there are people who are realistically gonna need them, or just want to try and play around with them. It'll expand the amount of playstyles that we can give a shot. I don't really see how that's a bad thing, even if it's not optimal, it's still something fun to try. And finally, I am hoping to get M6 lighter in 2025. I have no idea when he's gonna rerun, but I really want it. My reasoning for this is simple. He is the hottest character in all of gacha games. The most attractive man that any gacha game has ever released. He is so damn cool. I love this character, love everything about him, his backstory, his voice, dude, don't even get me started, his design, his playstyle. He's just awesome. He is perfect. I cannot wait to max him out when he comes back. Now, I have him at M1W1 at the minute. The only reason I didn't immediately M6 is because, well, it was around Christmas time, had to save money to get gifts for people, and not only that, I was still pretty new to ZZZ, and I was a bit apprehensive towards the idea of immediately dropping so much money on a game that I had only just started playing. Because the thing is, when I C6'd Farina, right, I had been playing Genshin for years at that point, and I knew that I would get my value out of it. So I was like, okay, I would rather just save up for a lighter M6 so that I can spend less money and at least get like M3 on the next banner. I will say that it's been really fun clearing Shoyu defense with an M1W1 lighter because everyone's like, no way, how are you doing that? He's not even M6, and I'm just like, haha, I don't know, but it's working. Somehow my setup is working. In Genshin, I got C6R1 Farina because look at her design and her story and everything. She's a perfect character. And you're telling me to play her as an off-field support? Hell no. So I got her DPS con, which just happened to be C6. Now with Lighter, I want him to be as strong as humanly possible, and I never want him to get power crept, and I always want to play him as my main DPS. I shall be the Lighter main, so I want to M6 him and W5 him whenever he comes back. Now the goal is that I will have saved enough polychromes for free to get about like M3, M4 or so, and then I can pay for the last two. That's my hope. And then I might get the W engine to R5 on the next banner. I'm not sure if I'm going to go all in at once, but I'm trying to minimize the spending here. And the main reason for that is because I've went for a C6 Farina before. I know how it goes. I know, what it's like to C6 a character, so I'm trying to go about this in the most strategic way possible so that I can end up spending the least amount of money possible. But I'm absolutely not letting another banner of his past without M6ing him. But it is a fun challenge at the minute to be able to clear all that in-game content with him as a DPS on crit at M1W1, but I am fully confident in the fact that I am always going to want to use this guy, so he is getting maxed out for sure on the next banner. Cannot wait for that. Cannot wait for that. He's my absolute favorite character in all of gacha games. No one comes close. I'm really committed to this. I am not setting a single name card. My name card is still blank, and I will only set it once I get M6 Lighter's card, or M3 Lighter's card, but I'm hoping to go for all the way to M6 on the next banner, and I believe that it's going to be generally more rewarding for me by the time that I do get M6 for having waited so long, being able to prove that you can clear with M1W1. Because M1 is a decent upgrade to DPS Lighter, I will say, but it's still not like an unrealistic level of investment that no one can achieve. So I'm gonna prove that, gonna pick up his M6 then, and it's gonna be real rewarding, and hopefully much less heavy on the wallet. Let's hope. I'm really hoping I'm not gonna have to skip the two Sons of Caledon 5 stars, the two other ones, in favor of getting lighter M6. I will if I have to. If I have to miss out on Caesar and Burnice a second time so that I can get M6 lighter, I will. But I'm really hoping that's not going to be the case. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, those are generally my wishes for ZZZ's 2025. It's not exactly the most crazy list in the world. Like, I'm so happy with this game. I'm so happy with this game, but it's really hard to come up with a comprehensive list of things that I really want them to do, because I'm just so pleased with what they've done so far. It's easily my favorite gacha game. It probably appeals to me so much because I'm a huge Persona fan, right? Like, really, my biggest wish for ZZZ's 2025 is that they just keep doing what they're doing. Because what they've done so far has absolutely captured my heart. I love this game. I really can't emphasize that enough. And I'm so shocked that I ended up liking it as much as I did. And I'm so glad that the game just keeps getting better and better as the patches go on. What a good game, man. What a good game. I love everything about it. The music, you know what? That's all going into another video. I'll make a separate video for all that. But for now, that's my list. Definitely tell me what your list is down below. I'd love to know. And yeah, hopefully this video was able to tell you my personal wishes for ZZZ's 2025. This has been Juice, signing out. And Hoyo, please let me move random play to the outer ring so that I can spend every second of every ZZZ day with lighter. Thank you.